I'm the seer that you're looking for, and I've already prepared a meal for you. I was just waiting for you to arrive. So everything that you want, everything that you desire also wants you too. It's just waiting for you to catch up to it. Welcome to the Heart Helper Podcast, a spiritual space where we share extraordinary stories from everyday, ordinary people because we truly believe that inspiration is far greater than influence. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Heart Helper Podcast. I am your host, Jodie Shannon. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful and blessed Sunday. I have not did a Bible discovery in a very long time. So for episode 48, it is just me. Y'all know that I have been reading my word. If you don't have a good study Bible, I highly suggest this one. This is actually a woman's study Bible, but we'll get to the content that I'm going to talk about today. But I'm happy to be here with you guys. I've really been just, as you guys know, locked in with God, tapping in, reading my word, and I'm really trying to become the best and highest version of myself. And I'm still learning what that actually looks like. But in this season, I'm really honoring myself. And it took me a very long time to get to this space because I feel like I've always spent so much time honoring other people, showing up for other people, pouring into other people, giving advice, answering when I'm tired, just going above and beyond. But now I'm like, wow, I really need to honor the space that I'm in. If I don't want to take the call, I'm not taking the call. If I don't want to go to the event, I'm not going to the event. If I can't make it, I can't make it. And for the first time in a long time, I'm like, okay, wow, that's okay. That is okay. You don't always have to be busy. I know we live in such a hustle culture and we're always doing so much, but I'm like, ooh, I just want to be slow and I want to be soft. I want to be soft and I'm still learning what that looks like, but I must say that it feels very good to be soft. And I know some people in our generation define soft as, you have money, you're on vacation, you're just traveling, you're shopping, you're getting your nails done, your toes done. But a soft life is really a life of peace. And I don't think we could have peace unless we have God. And I love to do these Bible discoveries because when I tell y'all, this Bible is a movie, okay? I know y'all have went to see Sinners about 2, 3, 5, 50, 11 times, but the real movie, okay, it's right here in this word. When I tell you I read the word and I'm like, wow, that happened. And I'm just looking forward to like finishing certain books of the Bible. And I'm just excited. I'm super excited of this growth process. I can't even believe that we're on episode 48 of the Heart Helper Podcast. I can't believe that Doja and I have won awards for the best mind, body, and soul podcast. So every time I think about like what we're doing, how we're moving, I just feel like we're on the right path. We're on the right journey. And if ever I look a mess, y'all, it's Doja's fault because he will sit here and have my hair looking crazy sometimes. So it's his fault. But today, the Bible discovery that I wanted to talk about is going to be in the book of Samuel. So I've been reading, I just really started from the front of the Bible and I'm just working my way through. Of course, I'm not trying to read the Bible in a year. I'm not trying to rush. I'm really just trying to read and I want to understand because, like they say, the word shouldn't be on you. It should be in you. I'll say that again. The word should not be on you. It should be in you. So I'm not reading to rush. I'm really reading to understand. And most recently, I'm in the book of First Samuel. I'm in chapter 9 right now. And when I finish chapter 9, I'm like, wait a second. I try to always reflect. I'm like, once I read it, I'm like, well, what did you learn from that? What did you take from that? And when I read First Samuel chapter 9, the subject of this particular chapter says Samuel anoints Saul. Just to give you guys the backstory, we know Israel was always crying. They were always complaining. They ain't like Moses. They ain't like Joshua. I mean, similar to us, like, God delivers us from Egypt. And then when God delivers us from Egypt, we're like, well, we should have just stayed in Egypt. If we would have stayed in Egypt, we would have had food. Though we would have been in slavery, we still had food to eat. But, I'm not judging the Israelites because we're very similar. We get delivered from something, but then when we're in an uncomfortable season in our life, we're like, oh, well, if I would have went back, I was comfortable being a slave. I was comfortable doing this. And sometimes us being comfortable leads us to our destruction. So we see a lot of times throughout the Bible where the Israelites were constantly complaining, constantly crying, constantly reaching out to God, like, well, God, save me. I know I got myself into this situation, but I need you to help me out. And we see that with Moses. We see that with Joshua. So at this point, in First Samuel, the people of Israel are like, well, you know what? We want our own king. Samuel, it was a prophet. So Samuel was guiding the people of Israel because he was a prophet. He was really connecting with God. God was talking to the people of Israel through Samuel. To give you guys a backstory on Samuel, Samuel's mother had prayed to have Samuel. She could not get pregnant. Her name was Hannah. I forget who she was married to. But read it. But she was praying for Samuel, and God was like, okay, I'm going to bless you with a child. And she's like, God, if you bless me with a child, I will give him back to you. Because her husband was married to not only her, Hannah, but also to Peninnah. Peninnah had plenty of children, and she would constantly mock Hannah, and she would constantly, just kind of just chastise her, like, haha, you can't have kids, your womb is barren. So Hannah was literally crying and begging and pleading to God, please let me be able to have a child. If you bless me with a child, I will give this child back to you. So she got pregnant with a child. That child was Samuel. Samuel was the prophet, and he, was pretty much the leader over the Israelites. So, the Israelites at this time, they saw other, nations that were great. They had kings. They felt like those nations were flourishing. So they're like, well, we don't want Samuel to be the leader over us. We don't want a prophet to be the leader over us. We want to have a king like the other great nations that we see. So what did God do? Because God's so faithful, God said, bet. Okay. All right. Y'all want to have a king? No problem. Y'all don't want to be connected to the leader that I've given to you guys, Samuel, who is speaking to me directly. Like, God's like, listen, Samuel's my boy. We're talking, we're connecting. He's delivering the messages that I've given to him to you. But you guys don't want that? No problem. You guys want a king? I will give you a king. So that's where Saul comes into play. So in chapter 9, we see that Samuel is anointing Saul as king. And the crazy thing is why I wanted to talk about this story on the Bible Discovery is because Saul was going out looking for his donkeys. His donkeys, for whatever reason, got lost. So him and his servant go out from town to town looking for these donkeys. They can't find these donkeys. They're like, man, we have looked everywhere for these donkeys. At this point, my father's going to get worried because we haven't came back. We've been out here all day searching for these donkeys. Where do you think these donkeys could be? These donkeys belong to Saul's father. So Saul's like, hey, I can't find the donkey. What do you think we should do? He's talking to his servant, and the servant is like, let's go see a seer. In these times, a seer, seer, was a prophet, someone that could prophesize. I guess we would kind of compare it to maybe a fortune teller, but it really wasn't a fortune teller because he really was connected to God. So they're like, okay, we can't find the donkeys. Maybe we could go to this person that knows how to prophesize, and he could tell us where the donkeys are. So this was really where I had an aha moment because Saul spent all day with his servant trying to find these donkeys. He's thinking that he's lost, right? And whole time, God ordered his steps. Whole time, God wanted him to be lost, but technically he really wasn't lost because Saul going to see the seer was with intention because Saul was told by God, hey, you're going to meet a young man and I want you to crown him king. He is going to come to you in the afternoon, and this is the person that you are going to make the ruler over Israel. So the whole time, Saul is thinking that he's lost. He can't find these donkeys. He's lost on his journey and he wants to turn back around. And I thought that that was so, like, I was like, wow, that's a powerful story, because how many times in our life have we thought, oh my gosh, I'm lost. I'm going down the wrong road. I'm tired of searching for my purpose. Am I on the right track? But everything is being ordained. Everything is being ordained. You're not lost. You're actually about to be found. And when I read that, I'm like, wow. So Samuel finally, sees Saul, and Saul's like, hey, you're a seer. Could you please tell me where these donkeys are? So let's read 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 17. When Samuel caught sight of Saul, the Lord spoke to him. This is the man I spoke to you about. He will govern my people. Saul approached Samuel in the gateway and asked, would you please tell me where the seer's house is? Samuel replied, I am the seer. Go up ahead of me to the high place, for today you are to eat with me. And in the morning I will send you on your way, and you will tell all that is in your heart. As for the donkeys you lost 3 days ago, do not worry about them. They have been found. And to whom is all the desire of Israel turned, if not to you and your whole family line? Saul answered, but I am not but a Benjamite from the smallest tribe of Israel, and is not my clan the least of all the clans of the tribe of Benjamin? Why do you say such a thing to me? Then Samuel brought Saul and his servant into the hall and seated them at the head of those who were invited, about 30 in number. Samuel said to the cook, bring the piece of meat I gave to you, the one I told you to lay aside. So the cook took up the thigh with what was on it and set it aside for Saul. Samuel said, here is what has been kept for you. Eat, because it was set aside for you this occasion from the time I said, I have invited a guest. And Saul dined with Samuel that day. After they came down from the high place to the town, Samuel talked with Saul on the roof of his house. They rose about daybreak, and Samuel called to Saul on the roof, get ready, and I will send you on your way. When Saul got ready, he and Samuel went outside together. As they were going down to the edge of the town, Samuel said to Saul, tell the servant to go on ahead of us. And the servant did so. But you stay here for a while, so that I may give you a message from God. Y'all, the crazy thing is, the whole time Saul thought he was lost, and he was just about to turn around and go back home and tell his dad, hey, I've been looking for these donkeys all day and I could not find them. Little did he know that there was literally a dinner being prepared for him. His chapter in his life was about to change. He was about to become king. A seat at the table was already prepared for him, and he didn't even pray for it. He didn't even know that what he was walking into. And how many times are we on our journey where we think we're lost? We're just about to turn back around. We're about to give up. The whole time, God has whispered our name in someone's ear. God has opened a door for us that we didn't even have to knock on. You just have to be obedient and put yourself in the proper places at the right time. Like, you're so close, but you don't even know that you're so close to it. And what really warmed my heart was that the whole time Saul was like, me? I'm from the least tribe. I'm a nobody. I actually just got off the phone with someone that I'm helping write a book. And she was like, well, I don't feel like I'm prepared, Jodie. I don't know. I was waiting for advice from this person. I wanted to say this. I'm just waiting on them to give me advice on it. If God put something in your heart, you don't need anyone else's opinion. You might think you're the least, you might think you're the last, but God will literally make you first. And Saul thought that he was the least. And look at, God made him king. He was about to rule over a nation. And despite God answering Israelites' prayer, because if you continue to read on, Saul did not remain obedient to his calling, but the thing is, Saul kind of got caught up in being king, and despite him being called to be king, it was his surface that kind of caused him to go crazy. But if you read on in the book of Samuel, you'll see that David then becomes king. But at the end of the day, he was called to be king and he didn't know it. He was just about to turn back around, give up on finding these donkeys. Like, listen, we're about to have to get some new donkeys because we lost the ones that we have. And I wanted to share that particular story with you guys because it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to give up. It's easy to kind of be like, you know what? I don't want to write the book. I don't want to do the podcast no more. I don't want to finish school. I don't want to try to get a promotion. I want to give up on whatever it is. Sometimes you want to give up on parenting, but you don't know how close you are to actually getting the treasure. You've been walking, you've been praying, you've been like, God, what is it? What did you send me here to do? You don't feel like you're in the right spot. You feel lost, but you are literally this close to being found. And if you stay on the journey, if you keep walking, you're about to literally unlock the greatest part of your story. The greatest part of your story. And Samuel knew that he was coming. He's like, okay, well, God said this young gentleman's going to be here this afternoon. He's going to come to you looking for the donkeys. God literally was ordering his steps, both of their steps. So when Saul approached Samuel, like, hey, I'm looking for the seer, Samuel's like, here he is. I'm the seer that you're looking for. And I've already prepared a meal for you. I was just waiting for you to arrive. So everything that you want, everything that you desire also wants you too. It's just waiting for you to catch up to it. Kind of like what we were talking about on our previous episode on 46 with Siobhan Williams, the journey of manifesting, the art of manifesting. Anything's possible to the man that believes. Sometimes we don't believe. We stop believing in ourselves. I'm guilty of it too. I'm like, well, maybe I am just meant to work in corporate and call it a day. But no, God has something in each of our hearts. But I wanted to make this episode to just remind you, stay encouraged. Keep believing. Be so delusional that you stop making friends with people. Let all your friends vanish and run from you. Be that delusional. When you walk in a room or when you go to lunch, be so delusional. Let your dreams be so big to where people are like, man, Jodie's crazy. Doja's crazy. Ashley's crazy. Bianca's crazy. Tyrone's crazy. Courtney's crazy, Ash, whatever your name is, be so delusional in your dreams that people don't even want to hang out with you anymore. Because the people that don't need to be around you when you actually get that dream, they would have already fallen by the wayside. And I love talking about my dreams. I love that my dreams are so delusional to people. It's like, okay, well, if you're not going to support it, it's fine. Because when I do get there, because I know that I will, you just won't be one of those people that are around me. It's okay if they don't like the post, if they don't like the song, if they don't support you on your journey of being in school, if they don't support you on your journey in parenting, whatever your journey is, when people show you that they don't support you, beautiful. Great. I love it when people show me their true colors. Maya Angelou says it best. When people show you their true colors, please believe them the first time. We're all guilty of trying to paint a new portrait of people, but they already showed you their forgive me for cursing. They already showed you who they are. Stop trying to make anything different from it. Stop trying to paint them out to be something else that they're not. And it's okay. Because literally God has already prepared a seat for you at the table. And we see that with Saul. So it's not that you're delusional. It's just that you have to keep walking. And guess what? While you keep walking, there's going to be people that are by your side right now that they're going to get tired of walking with you. They're going to be like, I'm thirsty. Could we stop and get something to eat? Why are you so motivated? Why are you so ambitious? And those people are going to stop walking with you, but you have to keep walking. And sometimes it will be your family that might not walk with you. It might be a best friend that will stop walking with you. Sometimes it might be a spouse that will stop walking with you because they don't believe in you. But definitely please read 1 Samuel chapter 9, because when I read that, it just really just motivated me. It put like a fire back into my heart, because it's easy to keep that. It's easy for the flame to go out. Because one day on Monday, you might be super motivated. You might be working towards your business. And then come Friday, you're like, oh, the fire is going out. But you have to surround yourself with people that are going to keep that fire lit. And they always say iron sharpens iron. So get around some other delusional people. And honestly, I don't even think it's delusion. It's really just a deep desire. And for a lot of us, it's a deep knowing, you know? And even in some people's cases, you just know that you're supposed to do something, but you just don't know if you're going in the right direction. And you might feel lost, but look at Saul. He thought he was lost, but he got found. And he did rule over the people of Israel. And I think an important part when we're going to discuss like Saul becoming king and how great that was, that he was literally the last, but God made him first. If you read on, you're going to see that Saul abused his power. And I always say it's very important to be mindful of what you pray for because the people of Israel prayed for a king. And at first it was all gumdrops and berry. Saul really tapped into his God power. He connected with God. He spoke to God. The Holy Spirit was guiding him and directing him and covering him and keeping him. Because when he first became king, he was excited. He was happy. He was like, wow, look at me. I was the last, now I'm the first. Like I was literally a nobody, but now God made me a somebody. God saw me fit to be a light in this world, to spread his message, to give him the glory. But the sad part about it was that Saul forgot who made him king. Saul forgot who made him king. And sometimes some of us will get blessed and we're like, oh my gosh, God blessed me with all these things. And then how soon and how quickly do we forget God? How quickly do we forget to stop, to continue praying? How quickly do we forget to actually go to God for direction on where we should take our next step? How quickly do we forget to give God thanks when we are blessed with the things that we prayed for? So eventually Saul forgot who actually made him king. And we see him actually, instead of listening to his spirit self, he starts listening more to his surface self. And he is not taking direction from God anymore. So he starts mistreating the Israelites. He starts doing pretty much what he wants to do. God tells him, hey, in this particular battle, you don't need to leave one person living because they'll come back to try to take over Israel. So he's like, well, no, I had mercy on them. God's like, well, I didn't tell you to have mercy on them. I told you to kill everybody in that tribe. And due to your disobedience, now you are going to see your destruction. So Saul forgot who made him king. So please don't just read chapter 9 just because that's the chapter I was highlighting, but also continue to read the whole book of 1st Samuel, 2nd Samuel, because you'll see the rise of a man that was listening to God, getting direction from God, more so in tune with his spirit, to the fall of a man, to a man that was only focused eventually on himself, on his surface, on him being praised, on him being glorified. So anytime that you take the glory from God and put it to yourself, destruction is going to come. And then when we see Saul going into his destruction, that's when we see King David coming in. And Saul became so jealous of David because now, instead of Saul hearing from God, now David's starting to hear from God. God's speaking to David because David was a man after God's own heart. So I think it's important to don't only highlight and read the high points of Saul and the rise of Saul, but also read the fall of Saul because that's important too. You'll see if you start disconnecting with God, your life will go downhill. But definitely check out that story. And I think my main point for you guys is to keep walking. Keep walking, keep believing. You might think you're lost, but you're so close. You're so close to being found. You're so close to being the king or the queen of your thing. Whatever that thing is, you are literally so close to being the king and the queen of it. But you can't give up. You have to keep walking because God is whispering your name in a room. God's opening a door that you didn't have to knock on. And even if you've knocked on a door and you weren't able to get in, God's getting ready to open the window. So you might think you're lost, but you literally are so close to being found. So I really hope that you guys read the Bible for yourself because I am not a preacher. I'm not a minister. I didn't go to school for this, but I'm just sharing my, journey towards God, towards growing, towards just being the highest and best version of myself with you guys. And I think it's also when you read about Samuel being a great prophet and how his mother dedicated him back to the Lord, I think it's great to see and read about his mother, Hannah, because she also was obedient. She said, God, if you bless me with a child, I will give this child back to you. And she did just that. And his mother was persecuted. Panita was very much so a mean girl. I mean, very nasty, very rude. She was not demure at all. But those who are mocked will soon be blessed. And Hannah shows that. Saul shows how you could be the least, but become the most. So definitely, y'all, this is a movie, okay? This is a movie. Read your word. Don't try to rush through it. After I read, I always say, what did I learn from this? And when I read that, that was profound. And I think for me, I just got to keep walking. Sometimes it's so hard to stay encouraged. It's so hard to stay motivated. But when you know God put something in your heart, it's your duty to do the work to put it out. No matter who likes it, who doesn't like it, who doesn't support, whoever thinks of you as the person that's in a tribe that, you're overlooked, you're undervalued. You might not, get any type of applause from anybody, but guess who's clapping for you? God. God is clapping for you. God is clapping for you. Your name is in a room. And I can't just reiterate that enough because it's so easy for us to get discouraged. We look on social media. You might not be where you want to be. And it is disappointing and discouraging when you're feeling like you're walking on this journey and you don't feel like anything's happening. And I think sometimes that's what the enemy uses against us because look at you. You're not there yet. You're not there yet. Just stop now. And we get those whispers from the enemy and they're negative and it's like, gosh, I'm not even anywhere where I want to be. But God's like, baby, just keep walking. Little do you know, it's already yours. It's already yours. I'm just waiting for you to catch up to it. So check out 1 Samuel, y'all. The book is good. But be sure to listen, like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at the Heart Helper Podcast. I hope you guys have been enjoying these episodes because I certainly enjoy doing them. But we're going to walk this journey together, guys. It's not an easy road. I always say it's so difficult being a human, but always remember that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. So when you get negative thoughts, you go through trying situations, just remember, okay, this is what humans go through. And I'm only a human for but a moment. So it's but a moment. It's but a moment. So I love you guys. I am Jodie Shannon, and this is the Heart Helper Podcast. Hope you enjoyed this Bible discovery. Read your word, y'all. Read your word. Love you guys. Till next time.